Um, Good morning, everyone. I'm sorry I got delayed in joining. Some problem, some technical glitch. Let's continue with where we are. Murli, are we discussing on Triple S, or you were telling something about some policies?
You are not through. I thought I'll just fill in about some details. The basic agenda being the way forward for Kenko and for Mediclaim policy for the current year.
Yeah, we'll do that later. First, let's finish with the agenda. Ravi, may I go ahead with the introduction of the panel?
Sir, please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm already recording it, sir.
Okay. Friends, I'm sorry. I delayed by almost 13 minutes because of some technical glitches. I've been trying for the last 15 minutes. I'm sure others also trying, and but fortunately the meeting is being recorded. I request everyone to accept the panelists, put their mics on mute, and put the videos off, so that will give better. There are some mics which are on, so therefore the noise is there. Ravi, could you mute everyone, please?
Done, Sudhir. Sudhir, you will have to unmute.
Yeah. Good morning. This is Commander Dua here. I request during the meeting we'll keep the video off for everyone except the three panelists. After the panelists give their views, the members who are keen to ask questions may please switch on the video or raise their hand through the system, and they will be permitted to, they may ask the questions which the panelists will answer. Okay, I'll just introduce myself. Commander Sujit Dua, Commission 1979. I'm a submariner from the nuclear submarines. Then I am alumni of Delhi College of Engineering and XLI Jamshedpur. So we started some basics about Sainik Seva Samiti because this is being organized by Sainik Seva Samiti. So please do visit us on our website, ssamiti.org. You will need to register as a primary member using Join Us and register on primary membership form. I'm talking about new members, if there are any, because there's a lot of invites gone to a lot of people. So there could be people who are hearing this or seeing this video later for their interest. So you join us on the website using Join Us and register on primary membership form, enclosing your service ID, say your ECHS card, canteen card, etc. in any card besides service ID card. Please don't share your service ID cards. We are basically interested to see your name and rank. SSS presently caters only for officers as primary members. Children above 25 years can join as associate members. Parents and in-laws can be covered as linked associate members, and all details are available in the bylaws on the website. Salient features of our plans: no age limit, covers all pre-existing diseases from day one. All info available on the website for registered members only. We have policy from New India Assurance, which covers everything except dental and mental issues. The policy is administered through a dedicated help desk on Raksha TPA. All policy details, certificates, etc. are shared by our brokers, Odin. They also help in any adjudication for claims. 100% claims are admissible as PED exclusion is available from day one. Certain restrictions have been self-imposed to ensure survivability. Besides, we offer OPD plan to members only. This is through a health service provider called Kenko, which gives 70% discounts on doctor's visit, prescribed medicines, and all prescribed laboratory checks and scannings. Except all diagnostics except cancer, mental, and dental. Age limit here is 80. All the presentations are available on YouTube and also on the website for registered members. Through our broker, members can avail car insurance, comprehensive designed home insurance, international travel plans at very attractive discounted prices and terms for the group members and their families, quoting your SSID. Your SSID, please quote in every mail, whatever you send to us or to broker or to TPA, please do remember to quote your SSID. It is there as part of your e-card also. Our panelists for this session are Wing Commander Ravi Mani, Commander Ravindra Pathak, and Colonel Deepak Makhija. I will just talk a little bit about them. Wing Commander Mani was commissioned into Metallurgical Branch of Indian Air Force on 1st January 1971. And after spending a little over 26 years in the busiest flying stations, including 4 training establishments, he opted for PMR early in 1997. A couple of years thereafter, he was working in the private sector, but led to a preference for trying to give back to the people he served with. And thus was born his involvement with 2 pension assistance groups. He is settled in Belgaum, Karnataka since 2008. We have Commander Ravindra Pathak with us, who's based from Pune. He was a navigation specialist from Indian Navy and he retired in 1989. He then served as master at sea and he was a lecturer at the Maritime Institutes. He has dedicated himself to issues of veterans, particularly in pension and ECHS. And now he's helping us with SPARSH. He was an active member of IESM who got us whatever OROP we could extract. Colonel Deepak Makhija. He was commissioned into Indian Army in the Corps of Signals from IMA Dehradun in June 1989 as a technical entry officer after completing his engineering in electronics and communication stream from Osmania University. His area of expertise includes combat communications, cyber security networks, electronic warfare, and high energy weapon systems. He has done a deputation with the Indian military training team at Bhutan for training of troops of Royal Bhutanese Navy. In addition, he has done instructional tenure twice at Military College of Telecommunication Engineering. Incidentally, our web admin, Kan Murli, is a professor over there right now, honorary professor, I think. And in College of Defense Management, Secunderabad. He has served twice as director at Ministry of Defense Army Headquarters. During one of these tenures as director, he has managed the largest pan-India strategic backbone multi-layered communication network of Indian Army. The officer has worked with DRDO and DPSUs for the development of various electronic warfare systems, high-energy weapon systems, and anti-drone systems. He is part of pioneer team for raising the Army Cyber Security Agency. He superannuated in November 2019 and is now settled near Secunderabad cantonment and involved in various social works. He has also been giving various presentations on and helping veterans in Secunderabad for SPARSH. Our Zoom moderator is Wing Commander C. Ravi Shankar. He is from the accounts branch of the Indian Air Force. During his service, he had an active role in the design of the payroll accounting systems of Air Force. After availing PMR in July 98, he made IT his second career. He is currently a senior vice president of an Indian IT multinational and is based out of Chennai. Thank you, Ravi, for organizing all this. And we will go ahead to the panelists. Wing Commander Ravi, sir, I request you could start and tell us your experience about and advice.
Thank you, Commander Dua. If I may call you Sudhir.
Please, sir.
My salutations to all of us who are joined here today on this Zoom webinar. So as to avail the maximum opportunities to discuss what most of us know, I will quickly go through a few points regarding the present situation as far as SPARSH is concerned. First of all, the reassuring thing is pension now is not stopped for any shortcoming in the personal data which has been migrated or in data entry errors, due to data entry errors. The difficulties with SPARSH, most of you would know, is that any correction or any change that is requested constitutes a service request. The problem with the whole system is only one service request at any one time is allowed, and till that service request gets actioned, till it gets completed, one is not allowed to proceed further and do any other actions that are required to manage your profile or to interact with SPARSH. Right now, for most of us, when we get migrated to SPARSH, there are only two basic documents which need to be uploaded, even for people whose documents are correctly transferred. And this is the uploading of the Aadhaar card, both sides of it, if it's the card, and if it's the rectangular long Aadhaar, just the front face of the card, because the address is required. Now, even though the Aadhaar may already be available in the database, this, I presume, this requirement to upload Aadhaar is probably to validate the credentials of the person logging in, be that as it may. Now, if you are required to upload the Aadhaar, till the Aadhaar request is accepted, you can't upload the PAN. Now, even if the PAN is on the database, you still have to upload the PAN. So these are the two basic documents which need to be uploaded. The problem with SPARSH today, the serious problems, and one which Commander Pathak has brought to the notice of the authority almost on a daily basis for the last 3 weeks, is that one is not able to update or include an alternate nominee in your personal data field. What is an alternate nominee? In our database, our spouses, if alive, are the default lifetime arrears nominee shown on the profile. Now, even if the spouse is there, all of us have a requirement to mention and update an alternate nominee on the SPARSH profile. This alternate nominee is not being allowed now due to a software glitch. I have an experience with a course mate of mine who lost his wife quite a few years ago. So even in his case, even though the data migrated showed that he was a widower, his wife's name still figures as the primary nominee, default nominee in the SPARSH LTA field. And I was successfully able to enter his son's name, bank account number, IFSC code, everything I was able to upload, including the front page of his son's bank passbook. But to my surprise, after exactly 3 days, the data field reverted to blank. So this is an ongoing problem with SPARSH, which Commander Pathak has taken up very strongly, but there is no progress on it, no known progress on it. The second thing is, most of us would have changed our addresses after retirement. Therefore, the address which is shown up on the record would need to be changed. To change the address, you have to go to your managed profile And as long as there is any previous service request pending, this cannot be attended to. So the problem with this basic issue of one request at a time is any one individual has to repeatedly access the SPARSH, either himself or herself, or through these common service centers, or through somebody helping him or her. And that creates a problem. So each person will have to think of a time frame of about 30 days or even 40 days. In the case of a naval captain who was commissioned in 1956, till today his personal profile has not been updated for the last 6 months. So this is the one issue. So for address change, we'll have to upload any one of the 5 documents: Aadhaar, PAN, Indian passport, driving license, voter ID card, etc., etc. Then the other point which I want to bring out is there is for life certificates, the good news is the State Bank of India is today being designated as the All India Service Center for the SPARSH for receiving life certificates, not only of SBI pensioners, but of pensioners from any bank whatsoever, any bank, any DPDO, any treasury whatsoever. So the State Bank of India will accept life certificates. The third point regarding life certificates is that if a pensioner is unable to move or is not mobile due to any reasons, you can demand doorstep banking on payment if necessary, and your life certificate can be recorded by the bank official who visits your residence, and that can then be uploaded by the bank to the SPARSH site. A very important point about life certificates: many of us are using digital devices to upload our life certificates through Jeevan Praman. This year, when you do it, please ensure that 2 changes are affected. One is your PDA has to change from whichever was the earlier PDA, say for argument's sake, State Bank of India, it has to change to PCDA SPARSH Allahabad. Secondly, and most important, by default, if you have been doing it all these years through digital devices, your old PPO number would be embedded in the database. That has to be changed, and you have to enter the SPARSH PPO number, the 12-digit SPARSH PPO number. So that is one point. Another point I would like to quickly point out is you would prefer to use the Chrome or the Edge browsers. Try to avoid using Firefox browsers to access the site. The difficulty with SPARSH is for the elderly, those who are remotely located, who are not very comfortable with digital devices, or those who are in any other way handicapped. That is a thing which has not been solved till now. I will now point out one very serious drawback which probably none of the people in the audience today will be affected by, and that is that SPARSH is totally inaccessible from outside the boundaries, territorial boundaries of this country. That is, it is geospatially geofenced. Suppose you are an Indian origin pensioner, now a foreign citizen, residing abroad and drawing pension from India, you are not allowed to access the SPARSH. There is a way out of it, but I'll come to that later. Secondly, if you are an Indian citizen yet, but you are traveling abroad or settled abroad for the time being, even you cannot access the SPARSH. This geofencing is I'll not mince words, it's a stupid idea for the simple reason you can bypass it by using what is called as buying what is called as a VPN address, IP address, virtual private network, Indian IP address. In dollar terms, it costs about $10 a month, and you buy that. It mimics an Indian IP address, and you can access SPARSH. Second point, you can always access if you are a
address change karnan kandre dengre Aadhaar le na marande utinde.
Next, if you are a person abroad, even you can still access SPARSH if you have an Indian linked mobile number linked to your bank account with international roaming. Recently, I've been able to help a course mate who is settled abroad, he has retained an Indian mobile number linked to his pension account and therefore transferred to SPARSH. And we have been able to talk on WhatsApp and do his migration. So this is one basic problem. I don't see a solution to this because the SPARSH authorities have been very adamant. Finally, I would like to point out that the SPARSH website is very, very slow, particularly during working hours. And then there's a problem. If you try to do it early in the morning or late at night, the triggering of the OTP does not result in a OTP being received, probably because the servers are disabled at that time for that particular function. The other basic problem with SPARSH is then when you have a problem and if you need to talk to the helpline at Allahabad, they only answer you in Hindi. I had taken up this issue with the joint CGDA grievances about 45 days ago, and I had spoken to him. He says shortly, SPARSH will have an additional 7 Indian languages apart from Hindi, only during working hours, 9 to 5 on weekdays. And the languages he mentioned, if I recall correctly, Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, Marathi, Odia, Bengali, and Assamese. These are the languages he mentioned, but it hasn't happened till now. And he also mentioned that going into the near future, they will have combined the SPARSH identity and create a single ID card for including ECHS, canteen, ESM card, and the SPARSH ID card. So this is as far as I'm concerned. The advantage I have with Commander Pathak being on the panel is that he will be able to fill up for any gaps that I have left out, and he will be able to elucidate on the points that I have made. Thank you.
Commander Pathak, sir.
Unmute yourself, sir. Ravi sir, unmute yourself.
Okay, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Loud and clear.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Commander Sudhir, for getting me on the panel. It's been a great honor to be with you all. I think everybody has covered most of the details where we are facing problems. Just to put it in this on the record that Ravi Mani, myself, and a couple of our pension group volunteers do help out those who are, stuck with SPARSH. And it's really difficult to find somebody who is at the age of 86 trying to handle his SPARSH matters. Okay, now coming to the next point. The Naval Foundation Pune chapter today called me up and said he wanted points for discussion at the Naval Headquarters. I have given them 15 points. I'll briefly go through just to let you know where we are trying to head in terms of resolving the matters in SPARSH. First point is about the supporting documents that are being asked for. There are two kinds of fields. One is a working field, the other is a straight-through field. What happens in a straight-through field is whatever you enter is supposed to be automatically verified, and which is actually now happening. So the question is, if you are instantaneously verifying what I have changed, then where is the requirement of an supporting document, because you have no time to look at the supporting document. As soon as I submit, I see the verification completed. So we are recommending and have taken up with them regarding doing away with this supporting documents to be uploaded in the case of straight-through fields. The other fields are the work fields, where you need supporting documents like change of date of birth, change of name, initials basically. Just to give you an example, your wife's name may be on your PPO or one of the PPOs, but it is not being transmitted to SPARSH. Therefore, your SPARSH database will show you no date of birth against your wife's name. And when you change it, they're asking for a supporting document. Now, this supporting document, I have been uploading a PPO, whereas they say that we need school leaving certificate or a birth certificate. I am uploading the PPO where her name figures and her date of birth figures. But we are saying that they must follow the Government of India regulations where they have said that any one of the documents, there are about 6 documents which are listed. Those documents and an affidavit should do. I personally am not in favor of an affidavit because it involves finance. So that is as far as the this. Another strange point is they are asking in your personal data, they are asking you your core or the branch. Now, I find this strange because except AMC, your core or the branch has no effect on your pension. Whether you are a flyer or an air engineer electrical or an air engineer mechanical or you are a submariner, it makes no difference in your pensions. So we have taken up this case saying that for heaven's sake, why are you asking for this? Except in the case of AMC, the field should be disabled for everybody else. The other issue is, and a very important issue is, variable dates for annual life certificate. We are all aware it's October for super senior citizens and November for the rest of us. Unfortunately, SPARSH, as usual, has violated every possible regulation on ALC, and they have given dates based on, I think, either the date of joining or your date of birth. I don't know whichever way. I have not analyzed it, but it makes no sense. So we have taken up this issue, saying that for heaven's sake, standardize it and follow what is in the government orders. NRIs has been covered, alternate pensioners has been covered. We have had an issue when doing the annual, the alternate nominee. They were not accepting a foreign mobile number, and it was a compulsory field. Fortunately, after I took it up, the compulsory field has been removed. So even if your NOK has a foreign number, it doesn't really matter. Here, I would like to point out a small thing. If your spouse is no longer with you, what you need to do is go to the family field and delete the spouse's name, and then you will be able to do alternate nomination. Now, when you delete the name, you will have to be, at the end of it, you will have to be prepared to upload her death certificate. So that is a slight change from what Ravi sir was telling you, that there is a problem. Actually, there is no problem as long as you have deleted your spouse's name post her death in this thing. The third issue is about getting delayed login initials. Login details, sorry. There are people where login details have not come in for a month. Now, what I suspect is one of the reasons may be that your mobile number has not been accurately registered in the database. So what you need to do is go to the site and update your mobile number only if you have not got your login details for a month. The third point is about TDS. A number of complaints have come in where TDS has been deducted at maximum 30%, or it has not been deducted at all. In both these cases, it's an absolutely random action taken by the TCS through the software, because those who have recently migrated, say August or September, since they have not got login details, they have not been able to even upload their IT rebate details on the SPARSH site. So I frankly have no idea how the hell the software has been designed, but this is what is actually happening. Just a point here, on the software, you have a choice of continuing with the legacy pension system or shifting to the new pension IT rules. So you can choose whichever of the you want for the IT returns. There is a long list of documents which normally you should carry when you go to any common service center, whether it is the State Bank, and thank God they have now allowed every State Bank to do it. I really don't know how many in the State Bank are really well versed with the SPARSH. I have my doubts on that, but Ravi says that my pension group is always available. You can approach us with the list of documents. I will share the list of documents with Commander Sudhir, and he can circulate within the your community. There is a case which I think Ravi sir, actually this is Ravi sir's case when he sent it to me and we took up. We have a problem in cases of the officers who are SD list officers, through the ranks. There is a conflict of in the software with regard to certain issues, and those we are taking it up. In fact, it has already gone. Those of you who are on my mailing list may have seen my mail on this subject. If you are not on my mailing list, you can take my number from Commander Sudhir. Send me your email ID and I'll add you to my mailing list. Actually, at one stage, I was a part of, the Sainik Seva Samiti, but a lot of people raised issues about me posting matters on pension, so I left. Nonetheless, anybody is fully welcome to join my mailing list. And once you are there, you will get all the updates. Whatever I have talked so far, it will be all there on my mailing list. I think I would stop here. Let the third panelist take on. And thereafter, if there are questions, we will take it up amongst ourselves between the three panelists. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Colonel Makhija, may I request you to take over? Sir, you have to unmute yourself.
That's right. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm thankful to Commander Dua for giving me this opportunity. The panelists before me have almost covered most of the aspects. I'll be speaking out of my own experience. As far as SPARSH is concerned, I am one of the earliest migrant to this platform. Having been, superannuated in 2019 November, I was migrated to SPARSH in May 2021. So I have virtually experienced all the stages of it, right? So I would be able to clarify a few issues which have been raised by the earlier panelists, because as I see it, everything what I wanted to say has already been said by both of them. So I can only just highlight a few things. I'll just try and clarify a few issues. But I can tell you one thing, sir, after having worked with TCS and having seen TCS very closely, sir, they will come out with solutions. we only have to have some patience. We are still in the transition stage. And as officers, I think we'll have to really make sure that this system works. Now that the government has taken a decision, we'll have to make sure that we enable our veterans and their families also, so that subsequently the issues which have been raised will be addressed and they can move on further. As of now, sir, as on date, which I saw till yesterday, about 22 lakh, I think 22 lakh plus pensioners had been migrated to SPARSH. It's been happening very fast now because I think they're approaching the deadline of October, which was given to them. And to support all this, there are 50 organizations working with about 2,280 officers which are working on this part, sir. So there's an intent, and things will work, right? Apart from that, they have contracted almost about 4,226 service centers all over India, and this number is still increasing. Apart from that, the soldiers on the ground, like all of us, those who are ready to help and are slightly more enabled, are adding on to this number in a very big form. Firstly, sir, the myth is basically, mostly what I see is the moment SPARSH was introduced, it's like any other software, sir. It's only, yes, it's taken a little time because there are stages, there's the absorption capability of the users have to also be factored in, which they are realizing over a period of time, or maybe the problem definition has not been done properly to them. But these things are all being addressed. One just needs a basic working knowledge, as we have been using most of us have been using our mobiles and we have evolved over it. And over a period of time, it would just be that simple. Yes, there would be some initial glitches as brought out by sir. The moment you're migrated, there are a few actions which are to be taken. If you have taken those actions initially, thereafter things will move seamlessly, except for certain routine issues. The routine issues can be some occurrences, right? Sorry, some exceptions. I didn't want to say routine things are like your pension slips, your Form 16, you need to download it. These are things. And apart from that, the exception could be some occurrences. There's a death in the family, or the death of the pensioner. What are the actions to be taken? So these are the exceptions. For those exceptions, also the things have been very well thought out, and they have been listed on the website. I would just be reiterating those points subsequently. So one thing that really I find it very good with this system is it gives me a complete transparency of the way my data is held today with PCDA pension. The only document till today I had with me was just my PPO. And I used to think that is sacrosanct, everything is now as per that. Let's see, we have been talking too much about SPARSH and blaming SPARSH for everything. SPARSH is only taking the data from the PCDA pension and your record offices. So if they have not maintained our data properly, they have devised the ways by which we need to amend them. Now, I'll tell you my experience. As late as yesterday, late night, when I just decided, since I was to be on the panel today, I decided to open my profile. There I saw my gender was female. There's no issue. I just changed it. And now the trigger has gone to the record office. The record office will verify and it will be approved. So it's become that much more simpler. And in the past, I've done it 4 times to amend my various details. My son's date of birth was incorrect. I've added that. There were a few other things. And the best part is, sir, within a short span of 10, 14 days, or at times 3 to 4 days also, I've got a fresh PPO, sir, which was something unimaginable in the past. So I don't know, these are my pluses the way I see it. So, and there were talks about, a few mentions about the changes. Yes, as I already told you, I have been making changes. I had made changes and they have been affected, and I have got the latest PPO copies with me. All that is required is, sir, in certain cases, yes, they do ask you for some documents. You have the documents, you upload it. I'll tell you, in a particular case, my son's some medical condition was mentioned, which actually, by the grace of God, he's absolutely hale and hearty. All that I did was, when they asked me for a document, I wrote it on a piece of paper that I have never mentioned that this disability of my son, nowhere in my record. You may please verify it. I signed it and I uploaded that. That was accepted by my record office and it was corrected. So things are there. People are making it happen. Now coming on to the LTA, sir. That is LTA stands for this. I am sure. I think Mari sir, you can correct me. This LTA is for the. There was a point about this LTA and the alternate
Lifetime areas.
not lifetime areas, exactly. I have added lifetime areas. My wife is the nominee for it. I have added her name. I have added an alternate nominee also. And that is my son. My wife is very much with me. And I have added my son as a alternate nominee for it. Yes, as I see, sir, what has happened is I've been having a look and feel of this portal from time to time. There are certain restrictions they have been imposing because what is happening is I think there might be some overload of requests from people. Things will open up. If I take anyone to my profile, it shows the LTA nominee as my wife and alternate nominee as my son. So that provision is there. For some reason, it would have been disabled. There's an issue, which I'm sure they will revert it back. So much so that I'll tell you, initially when we were migrated, sir, the only way we could do anything on SPARSH was only by our login credentials and nothing else. Today, the moment you open the portal of SPARSH, the first web page that it shows you, there are a lot of tabs on it. And you are able to navigate without even logging in. You're able to upload your Aadhaar, you're able to change your mobile numbers. So they're also evolving depending upon, they're saying that people are having issues. People are not getting the username and password in time. So they have now enabled at the portal without you even logging in also. So there are a lot of things which are happening. Coming on to this life certificate. No, see, I'll tell you one thing. The biggest insecurity today that people have is, right from till today, the bank was doing everything for us. It was only a pension distribution authority. It was not the pension authority. And so there have been instances, I've been interacting very closely with the DPDO here in Secunderabad. He narrated an incident to me wherein a lady who had some dues to the bank in whatever form it was. The bank seized her bank account. And because of that, that lady had no access to her pension. Her pension had stopped coming. And you know one thing, as per government ruling and Supreme Court ruling, no one's pension can ever be stopped under any circumstances. But the bank was very clear. The bank said, we are not the pension authority. We are just a disbursing authority. So these are the catches. And I can tell you with my own experience, my dad's pension, they were cutting some money every time when he was alive without any authority. So ultimately, I had to, walk into the bank. I was not here in Secunderabad. I was posted somewhere else. When I came home, I went in, I had the issue sorted out. But now you see the pension authority is the one who is directly giving your pensions into your bank account. So there won't be any issues where the bank, where would it get involved? The bank was getting in the past involved in helping you out with life certificate. So these days, life certificate, you can submit your detailed life certificate with your mobile also. It's so much so simpler. There are a whole lot of videos which are there on the YouTube. Please go through them. I'm sure I don't have to give any link to that. Just type, you will see there are a lot of ways. You don't need a biometric device also. So it's that much more simpler. Now, the other issue is of occurrences. Yes, what used to happen is a pensioner had an issue. And in the case of the demise of a pensioner, the bank needed a whole lot of documents to be submitted to them. And then they used to give it to the PCDA and then it used to be processed. Today, sir, go on to open your SPARSH portal on the first page itself without even logging in. In the services tab, on one side, it is given reporting death of a pensioner. That death of a pensioner can be reported by any individual who's got an Aadhaar card with him. He reports the death, he uploads the death certificate, he puts up his own credentials. And his Aadhaar card, because obviously the accountability is through the Aadhaar card and his mobile number, right? So this death is reported. And thereafter, the rest of the actions will automatically follow. So a lot of things have been introduced in this. And my request to all of us is, sir, we are relatively more enabled. And we have a support system. We are part of so many groups. let's navigate through this fast and help each other so that we can help our Jawan, JCOs and family pensioners, those who actually need more help. A few issues which were raised about change request numbers, which I think I've already answered. In my case, I remember having raised 4 change requests at one time. They were all honored. Maybe now they have restricted it, but I'm sure they will open it up later. And alternate nominee LTA I've already addressed. SPARSH access abroad, yes, that is an issue. I don't know why they are not helping it out. They should open it because a lot of officers have joined their children after retirement, and so have the Jawans. So login details, yes, if you do not receive your login details after some time, once you have been you come to know that your account has been migrated to SPARSH. Also, you will start getting an SMS that your pension has been credited through SPARSH. It means you have really been migrated to SPARSH. Now, how do you go over it? So you can always use that services tab. Under that, there's a link on which you can come to know your exact status of migration. It gives you a PPO number, but it doesn't give you a password. Use that PPO number to use for login, and use the forget password option. And once you use that forget password option, depending if your mobile has been linked, you will get your password on that. So this is one way by which we can navigate. Now, talking about, there was one issue about submission of life certificates, sir. Sir, life certificate submission date has been deliberately dwelled upon and decided. It is from the date once you have submitted your last digital life certificate or whatever life certificate you have submitted, from that exactly after 1 year is the date on which your next digital life certificate is due. It is no random date. And it is not that you're going to wait for 1 year. Should you decide to go abroad, let's say about 5 months earlier, and you know you're going to come back only after 6 months, you can do it on that day also. And this will be applicable for one year thereafter. And on top of this pay slip, pension slip, every month, this date is mentioned when your life certificate is next due. So there's no ambiguity. It is a well thought out plan with which they have been proceeding. I have only this to say, and I hand over to Commander Dua. Thanks for the patient listening, sir. Thank you.
Thanks, Colonel Makhija.
Sudhir, a few points I want to clear.
Please, sir, go ahead, sir.
Colonel Makhija raised a couple of issues on which I would like to share my views.
Sir.
First is regarding alternate change, alternate nominee. The issue presently, Colonel Makhija, is that when you go for alternate nomination, the name that comes up for the alternate nomination is that of your own spouse. It's not that they have disabled it. It's that they have a software major glitch where once you have registered your spouse as the first nominee, alternate nominee, when you register, the second field shows up your spouse's name and nothing else. So there's nothing you can do about it.
So may I?
One moment.
I've already elaborated that my son's name figures as the alternate nominee, and that is what is added by me.
But one moment. I have sent out 10 cases in the last 10 days.
So that's what I'm trying to say. So I was very clear when I said there are certain things which they had enabled initially. There are certain things they have restrained them now, and time to time they have been opening them up.
Makhija, please understand. Let's not argue. Please understand. I will send you evidence. If you share your contact details with me, I'll send you evidence of what I'm telling you. So let's not argue over it. All right. Number one. Number two. We are forgetting that we are all sitting here as urban people. Think of a widow. Think of a widow who is in a village. We have already had a couple of cases where the CSC has changed the pension details and the widow's pension has gone to the CSC owner. Number two, CSC are supposed to give you free service. CSC are charging everybody who goes there. Number three, day before yesterday, a brigadier went to the CSC at Colonel Veterans Pune. I spoke to the Subedar who was manning the desk. I told him how to do it. He could not open the IT submission link, despite sending him a screenshot. So let us understand that it's all good. We have got 4 lakh CSCs. We have got every bank doing it. The bank staff has no clue what is SPARSH. It's all right on paper to say that every bank of State Bank branch will do it. I will tell you that none of the branches, they have a clue of what they are trying to do. Change request. Please understand one thing. What we discussed initially was something quite different. And let me clarify it. And what Ravi Mani said was also quite different. What happens is, while doing your process of uploading or correcting your data, if you do not save every page, at the end of it, you might have a power failure, you might have something else, and just one service request gets uploaded. And thereafter, every other service request that you want to do, you can do nothing about it. You have to wait till that service request is settled before you can make any entry. You're talking of data being correct. This morning, I did a wing commander's case. His wife's name written in the PPO was shortened in the database of the SPARSH. His wife's date of birth in the PPO was missing in this thing. His address was missing. So it is not correct. It is all fine to say that, all data is migrated. I'm sorry, all data is not migrated. Of the 30 cases I have done so far, in every case, I have had to change the address because the addresses were old, the addresses were missing, PIN code is missing. You put a PIN code request, you can't do anything thereafter. You are stuck. So, yes, Makija sir, you are right. The TCS is doing a lot of effort. Unfortunately, the effort is not adequate. Unfortunately, the system does not cater to illiterate widows in villages, illiterate old pensioners. I have solved problems of lieutenant generals who had no clue of how to handle software. So let us understand there are issues with it. Let us accept it. TCS did a good job with your passport. We are not blaming TCS. Please understand one thing.
Sir,
you work for TCS.
Sir, no, I never work for them. Just a minute. Sir, I
don't
never.
know
So just a minute, please. No, let me clarify. I for once never said that the system is absolutely perfect.
No, sir.
I said the system gives you a way to work through it. When
No,
I
sir.
told you,
Sir, one moment, let me clear it.
So just a minute. The data, I never said the data is absolutely correct. That is why it gives you an option that if you want to change the data, you will change the data. There are issues. There is no doubt. In my case, when I told you, I've got 4 amendments done. The 4 amendments are not because of me, because the data was not captured correctly. So that itself should have given you my answer. Okay.
Anyway.
And I'm very much sanguine to the fact that people in the rural areas have a problem, right? So do people have the problem as per the ECHS card when they were changed from 32 KB to 64 KB was concerned. That is why people like you and me come in picture. We try and help people. So that's how things work, sir. Today the banks have gone into automation. We can't just leave it. The automation hoga hi nahi, because people are still used to using passbooks. Today, aren't the reservations? So anyway, we'll leave it at this. I think
Sir,
We are diverting.
we are not diverting. We are not diverting. We are very much on ground. So my request here is, sir, a system has been introduced by the government. I'm not an advocate of the government. We all will have to make sure that we help people navigate through it. That was the last concluding remark which I said. We officers will have to understand the system in whatever weaknesses it has, and try and help people in whatever way we can. That is what always has been my intention at every platform. Yes, the system is bad today. Can we roll it back? We have no power to roll it back.
Thanks,
So let's work through it.
thanks, Colonel Deepak Makija. Thanks, the
Sure.
panelists. Sir, it's now we've had extremely, I would say, productive session. A lot of views have come. We have seen that even within the experts, there are a lot of things to be learned. One thing is apparent that, and we should clearly understand that government is not going to go back on this. It is going to happen. So we have to find out ways to implement it rather than, and correctly what the panelists have been saying, please give feedback to the, not to the environment, because environment is confused.
Sudhir, may I come in, please?
To the headquarters, service headquarters, they are the ones who are supposed to take charge of PCDA, because PCDA has made mess ups. They see, ultimately one thing which is coming out in the last bit also is that any computer, junk in, junk out, and the junk has to be removed. It is painful for the time being. Ultimately, in the long run, it is going to be there. We have no way to get out. So let us find solutions. Problems are there, which have been amply brought out by the experts. Now may we have some specific questions for 10 minutes from the users, which can be answered by the experts. I will also add, before I need to leave, that I have requested Naval Headquarters. They would be deputing some reps. So if we can give the questions we have Pune chapter has given 15 questions. So if we can collate the points, you can give it to us. Pathak sir, is it okay? Can you help in collating all the points? Or Mani sir, or Makija sir, say anyone.
May I come in, please? I have something to say.
Sir, please, sir.
Thank you. We have heard a lot of issues coming up. While we cannot wish away the problems, the main thing is that we have to get out of this IIO mode, this mar gaye lut gaye wali mode. That is the first thing I feel, and we have to kind of correct it. The first point is, I am a database expert and I have been teaching in MCT MAU, and I have also been helping people. Because of this, I got some experience on this. That's what I just want to briefly share. The first thing is, people often complain, why are they not taking it from the MP6? We have crossed that stage when we can physically ask somebody over the phone and enter a data. Either we take it as it is, the entire data is migrated, uploaded, or it is not. Our legacy issues, both SBI, PNB, PSU banks, MP5, they all have data, but the data is corrupt. Corrupt doesn't mean inaccurate data. Corrupt means it is not in the format which will be accepted today. When that happens, like a date format, if it is not in the international form and it is in a kind of DDMM, the different format, it is very difficult to upload it. So that is the reason why there is a lot of blanks. Now, I suppose it should be taken as a kind of opportunity. Firstly, you are able to see what is the data fed. That is the biggest thing. What Colonel Makija spoke about transparency, you are able to see once log in, and sometimes even without logging in, you can see so many of the issues, whether it has been captured correctly or not. you got an opportunity to correct it. And believe me, I have been correcting so many people's, including that wife's date of birth and wife's name without any proof. It has been accepted. Then the core or arm somebody was mentioning. Okay, I understand there are different experience. I understand, I believe. Right now, people have different experiences. Some people have been lucky, some people have been lucky sometimes, not so fortunate. The positive thing is that we are going from not so organized to more and more getting organized. Now, next thing is about the variable date for verification. This was also brought out earlier. Why get stuck up in November? Why not stagger it? I used face recognition software to push it from November to June, even though it is not due. So now I'll stick to June so that I can update in my time rather than sticking to somebody else's time. And as somebody mentioned, that if you have some commitment in November, why not do it before? Then updating your mobile, this is the most important thing. If you can update your mobile proactively, I think rest everything will take care, because every communication is through the mobile. Then there's a problem of requests getting stuck. This is very true. If one request is stuck, all requests are stuck. This is again, it has been brought in because of the problem of updating the data. When you have kind of contradictory data coming up, it is difficult to update. So they have made it one at a time. I'm not defending it. It is bad. In one of the thing, in my own case, it took about a month or two. Then I wrote a grievance. Fortunately, the grievances are addressed to. Once you send a grievance through that, and once that what is stuck is removed, then subsequently you are able to update. And that is all I have to say.
Thank you.
And my summary is that this is a problem, but the positive is that we have two choices before us: just to live with the kind of data which MP5 has, which you have no idea what they have. My own coursemate, many of them have been, the widows have been surprised only when the officer is passed away that what kind of data they have. Today we have a system, we are able to see, however faulty it is, we are able to see. And once you see something, at least we are shouting, we are addressing. So I am sure it will all get corrected in due course. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Colonel Murli. Now I would request whoever has a question, please, everyone is on, everyone video is on. So I don't know. I will not be able to see. You have to put all videos off. Only people who need to have a question, please.
Mrs. Mohandas here.
Yeah,
Mrs.
ma'am,
Mohandas here.
please, ma'am, come on.
Yeah. And my question is to Wing Commander Ravi Mani. And first of all, thank you so much, Sudhir, for organizing this meeting with all the panelists. And thank you all for wonderful, enlightening us. My question is to Wing Commander Ravi Mani. Will you please be available?
Yes.
On video, yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So first thing, I discussed this point last week with Marshal Vartaman Ravi, and he said we can take the help of the SPARSH cell in the Air Force Association Tambaram. So this is only after I get the SPARSH message from the bank. Is that right, Ravi?
That is true, but as Commander Pathak has pointed out, he mentioned a case where he had interacted about a brigadier with a Subedar in the similar help center in the Southern Command, and the Subedar was not able to move an inch forward. So the kinds of problems that SPARSH throw up individually, I'm not talking of a blanket kind of a solution as has been told by Colonel Murli or the others. Individual cases, you can get stuck so badly that you can't move an inch forward. I'll just give an example. There is one Commander Sati Taneja, commissioned in 1956. For his wife's date of birth, they are insisting and continue to insist, in spite of our grievances and representations for the last 4 months, that his wife must have a matriculation certificate or birth certificate. I am 1947 vintage, pre-independence. I don't have a birth certificate. There was no birth certificate in my times. I have a high school certificate, that's true. And Mrs. Taneja probably is a migrant from Pakistan. So she doesn't have a birth certificate. She doesn't have a matriculation certificate, though she is highly qualified. So what do? So these are individual issues which cannot be handled. And like Commander Pathak just now said, an individual problem cannot be solved by viewing it as a general experience.
Okay, and what
So
about
we
the
have to-
alternate nominee? Ravi, what about the alternate nominee? Can I give Jayanti's name, my daughter's name?
You can, but like Commander Pathak and I have been experiencing over the last 15 days, it is not accepting the alternate nominee as long as the wife is the default nominee. And
Yeah, but in my case, Grupi Mohandas is no more.
Yeah, but for that, like Commander Pathak had just now suggested, and I didn't know that, he said that you have to go to the family details and declare the spouse no more. If necessary, upload the death certificate, following which an alternate nomination can be done. We'll have to test it out. I will interact with you one-to-one.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll just address some of the questions. Just see if there's anybody. Yeah, nobody else.
DK Sharma this side.
Okay, sir, please go ahead.
Sir, I am located in Gurgaon. When I go to the SPARSH site and look for the service station center, I find Bashapur is a service station and that address and number is given. But actually when I go there, there is nobody there on the given address, and the mobile number, if I dial, they say the number doesn't exist. Now what should I do about it?
May I answer this?
Please, sir.
Gurgaon.
Sir, I would suggest, this is my personal suggestion, nobody else is responsible for it. Don't go to a common service center. Then what can you do? Try to go to station headquarters, even if it is inconvenient, or to a nearby Army, Navy, Air Force station which has a help desk, and try to avail their help. Otherwise, you can call up somebody like Commander Pathak or myself, or one of us. We can help you in a distant mode. For example, we have just migrated one of my course mates, one Wing Commander Zach Kuruvala, who's sitting out in the United States, but has an Indian registered mobile, and I've helped him migrate. So there are people like us all over the country who help people like this. There is a Havildar Sahu sitting in Kharagpur who has literally helped thousands of pensioners migrate to SPARSH. So I would suggest, okay, don't go to a common service center. You'll be cheated. You're likely to be cheated.
I will add to Ravi. Many of the common service centers have shut down. So I would suggest, if you have to go, please go to a PCDA or the CDA service center, or go to a Colonel Veterans Office. That's number one. Number two, I will request Commander Sudhir kindly share the contact details of the three panelists with the group, so that they can approach us. Don't worry. Anybody on the group who approaches us as a group, particularly where the pension group is involved, we have got 8 members, and all of us will make sure that the most difficult of the case is resolved in your favor. So, Sudhir, please give our email IDs and contact
Sure, sir.
mobile
Sir, if you could just,
to everyone.
sir, if you could just tell me, I have Wing Commander Ravi Mani's on the system. He's displaying it. If you could enter on the chat, or you can tell me, I can enter on the chat.
Yeah, my mobile number is 98223.
Your numbers I have, sir. We need your email.
Email RAVI
RAVI
WAR
WAR
SHA
SHA
at gmail.com.
at gmail.
And Sudhir, please change my email ID to gmail.com. This is an alternate email ID which I don't see often. This is for such sites like Zoom and all. So mine will be the same at gmail.com.
Okay, sir.
Anybody who is presently in the meeting can contact us, Ravi Badi and myself, in the group with 5 others spread all over the country, and we will help you out. No issue.
Commander Dua, Wing Commander Kamaldeep here. May I pipe in?
Please come up, sir.
Thanks a lot, Commander Pathak, Wing Commander Mani, and Colonel Dheeraj for this, Colonel Khija for this wonderful opportunity. I have a request only. The request is the process that these panelists have listed out regarding the alternate nominee and deletion of spouse name. If this process could be written down and shared with the environment, it will be a wonderful, because I am struggling with the same. Though the process that you have listed out, I will try it again if possible. Otherwise, I'll contact you one-to-one. And thank you very much. That's all.
Okay, sir. Understood. Sudhir, I've got a list of flow diagrams which have been made
Yes, sir.
for virtually every
Every process, sir. Okay, sir.
Ravi sir, you are muted. Ravi
Sir, you
sir,
are muted.
Okay. I've got a flow process, number of flow processes which have they're easy to follow. I will share them with you. You can put it on the group.
Yes,
But
sir.
I would still prefer, that people contact us directly, because it becomes much easier to interact then.
I'll
But
do that,
nonetheless,
sir.
I'll share all the processes with you.
I'll do that, sir, for myself. But why I was requesting it was that rather than people calling you repeatedly, if we can share it with our other other friends and others who are struggling with it, so it reduces your workload. That was my issue.
Sir, no issues.
The point,
No issues.
point
We've
taken,
got-
sir. We'll go to the next question. Manjeet, sir, please come up.
Thank you very much for this session. I have taken down the Wing Commander Mani's email ID. It will be nice if you get the email IDs.
Sir,
of
all the
other
3 email
participants.
IDs are there on the chat. Please note it.
Okay, thank you. Then we can, as and when the question comes, we can approach
Yes, sir.
it.
So they're all there. Everyone can please note. I'm just reading out some questions from the chat, which probably have not been addressed, or let me just read out. This is already, Kamaldeep, your question has already been addressed. So
Yes, sir.
I'm not reading it out. Dilraj Kumar Sharma, on search on SPARSH for nearest service center, I get his address and contact number, but nothing.
Email ID.
Sir, please, in Delhi, there is no problem. You can go to any headquarters. They have help desk. And anyway, I have shared 4 enclosures where the help desks of Navy, Air Force, Army, each service have been given, and also CDAs have been given. If somebody still doesn't have it, please ask me. We will give it to you. They're floating in the environment. I've taken from there, and I will also take the flow charts from sir. What he said just now, he shared it. So we'll put it all in on the website of SSS. You can please log into SSS website and access them, because I can't keep on answering everybody, but we will definitely keep. Colonel Mulli, can we keep all the things on the website and in a folder?
RABI.
Colonel Mulli, can you help me on that?
Sir, like whatever
MANI.
details about SPARSH you want to put up, I can publish it. I'll just put one button for SPARSH related queries and put all the contact details or any other information.
He said,
Perfect. Thanks. That will help. So please, everyone, you can just contact it's there on. It will be there on our help desk, and it will be. We'll keep on updating it so that you have the latest updates over there. Gopinath sir has given a request that about change of name, etc. He has approached NAVPay and Naval Headquarters. Request, sir, your spellings have to be corrected by yourself. And in Naval Headquarters, if you are approaching, please approach through DESA to DOP. Next week, I hope to get the Naval Headquarters rep. And if they agree, I will be posting that and we'll have a meeting with them. I've also requested SBI Chief General Manager for a meeting. He's also agreed. So probably let's see when can we organize that. I'll be sharing all those on the mails and the groups.
Sudhir, Brigadier Jagannathan here. Can I speak?
Please, sir, go ahead, sir.
Yeah. What is the difference between ePPO and SPARSH PPO, and which one to be used?
SPARSH, sir. The ePPO is a legacy. The ePPO is a legacy PPO issued recently in the last 5 years by the 3 record offices, by the sanctioning agencies. And the SPARSH PPO is entirely new, completely different in number, but the same 12 digits as your ePPO.
So which one to be used for our...
As I mentioned earlier in the program, sir, that when you are submitting your life certificate, henceforth, if you are migrated to SPARSH, use only the SPARSH PPO.
Okay. Second doubt, when I was updating my documents, it's compulsory asked for my spouse PPO. What is spouse PPO?
Spouse PPO is any PPO in which she is jointly notified, sir.
Yeah, that's right. But in that system, SPARSH PPO is not uploaded so far by the SPARSH.
No, sir. Let me be clear. Spouse's PPO is any previous PPO in which your spouse's name is notified. That's all.
Yeah.
There's nothing to worry about, sir.
Okay, it is the ePPO.
Any PPO, any PPO. I don't say ePPO.
Yeah.
You have a problem, come back to us.
Okay, thank you.
Sir,
I have no problem. I'm trying to get educated.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Pathak sir, there is a question to you, sir.
Maybe I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you personally.
Sudhir sir, one important point.
Please, sir.
Somebody had mentioned in the chat box about name change. My suggestion is please don't go about venture into the name change territory at all, because Army headquarters in February last year has issued a policy after numerous pushbacks by us that there will be now nothing called demographic failure due to a change in names. For example, instead of Ravi Mani, if my name was Mani Ravi or my village name was there, none of those things will affect. Now pension will not be stopped and demographic failure will be undone by uploading your Aadhaar. There will be no conflict created because of a change in the order of names or minor expansion of initials into full name into initials. None of those things will affect. Just keep quiet. Don't worry about name change right now. Do not venture to change the name in your Aadhaar and PAN. That is our suggestion.
Sir, a small question from my side, sir. Sir, isn't it better that if we have a different name in Aadhaar, then from a PPO, then let us correct Aadhaar, because Aadhaar is not only going to be used for PPO, it is going to be used for everything else also.
That is one problem here.
So Aadhaar name should
not be changed. Sudhir, the Aadhaar name should not be changed for the simple reason, if you have transacted property deals in the past, or you have transacted any municipal record where your name is taken from the Aadhaar, you will get into huge trouble if you change the Aadhaar name, because then your land record will become useless. Don't do that.
So you have to ensure that your PPO name is as per Aadhaar.
Yes, and that's a complicated process which requires affidavit, 2 newspaper advertisements, etc., going before in some cases they are insisting going before a first-class judicial magistrate. Right now, that requirement has been done away with as far as SPARSH is concerned. So there is, as far as I know, in recent months,
no, PPO cannot be as per Aadhaar. PPO cannot be as per Aadhaar because South Indians have a problem. We use father's name as a...
So 1 minute, that has already been taken up. Please don't get into that territory. That's what I'm trying to say.
Exactly.
There is nothing called demographic failure now.
Correct. I agree with you. We should not change it.
No. There is nothing, sir. Don't get into an unknown territory where you need not go. This was an issue which was faced by pensioners.
Yeah, I agree with you. That's right.
Sir, thank you very much, sir, for to the panelists for all the help. And we'll come up again maybe after a while when things become more clearer and new problems crop up. Colonel Murli has something to say before I close the thing, Colonel Murli, yours.
Yeah, I'll just be very brief. We have a website, I'm maintaining it, and I have a blog also going. My humble request, if you find anything which is of use to everybody, particularly because this is a dynamic thing which is going on, this site is ever evolving. At least that is what I am seeing. What is not accepted yesterday is accepted today. These kind of things may please be posted through blog, which can be totally interactive. Thank you.
You can share the blog details on the chat, Murli.
But Murli, just one thing to point out. I was on the blog, and because I was posting things concerning pension, I was removed. All right.
Sir,
so if you like, you
sir,
can add me back on the blog.
Pathak sir, that time.
Otherwise, just a moment. Just a moment.
Pathak sir, that time was different. People were focusing on Mediclaim insurance. Right now, that is closed. It is getting closed tomorrow. So we are now focusing. We are no more focusing on that. It is closed. We'll be focusing on our AGM. We still have the OPD window open for members to do. We already have almost 100 members. We are just waiting for another few so that we can pay the money. So whoever wants, it's a wonderful thing. I don't know why you people are not using it. Up to you to stand in line and queues of ECHS and waste your time. I don't stand for it. If you
that's okay.
Yes, sir. I'll just. Sir,
we are not getting into that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll just show my. You can see in the background. I have a mini dispensary at home because ECHS every time gives me different medicines, and then they are in different lots, different concentrations, and home is turning into a dispensary.
No, I think we are deviating.
So we will come back to the point. Sir, I will add you back, Pathak sir. I will add you back to the group because now the focus is on welfare, and this is a very important part of the welfare. And all other questions a lot of people have, so please post them to the email IDs already given. And Colonel Murli has also will also be sharing his this thing. So if you're giving it to me on secretary, I will definitely give it to Colonel Murli so that he can answer. He is very knowledgeable on subject. So I'm glad that we've got such a knowledgeable audience. And let us be very clear and understand that SPARSH is here to stay. So there is no way we can run away from it. Let us find ways to do it. What some of the panelists have suggested is they have been very very grateful that they've offered their services. Some more, like Colonel Murli has come up. If others can also come up and help, initially help the officers and then get together like we did for the ECHS form, help men also to complete the things. Ultimately, we have no choice but to get it going.
Yeah, okay. All the flow diagrams have been sent to Dua. You can pick it up from there and put it on your site.
Yes,
okay?
sir. Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you, sir. Sir, Mani, sir, with your permission, sir, you're the senior most. So with your permission, may I close the meeting?
Thank you very much. And I'm part of the team. So there is no senior junior here. Thank you very much.
Sir, it's
been a pleasure being with you.
Sir, it is normal service courtesy.
Thank you all once again, everybody.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mrs. Mohandas here. Thank you so much.
Congratulations for getting getting appointed as the secretary of the Veteran Society in Tamil Nadu, in Chennai.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Something.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks.
Thanks a lot,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Good day, sir.
Good day, sir.
Good day. Thank you.
Sudhir, I'll be posting this recording later today on the YouTube channel.
Right, sure, Ravi. I'll share it with everyone.